The world didn't lose manufacturing to China because it was cheaper. It lost because China built something no one else can copy. For decades, the world believed manufacturing would simply move to whoever was cheaper next. This video explains why that belief is now wrong, and why replacing China isn't a relocation problem, but a systematic nightmare. Let's kick this off with the myth that's been fooling everyone for decades. China rules manufacturing because it's dirt cheap. Spoiler, that was true back in the 1990s. Back then, yeah, wages were a steal, like a fraction of what you'd pay in the US or Europe. Environmental rules? Barely a whisper. Land? Wasn't a factor. Multinational companies flocked there to slash costs, and it worked like a charm. But fast forward to the 2020s, and that story's flipped. Manufacturing wages in China's coastal hubs like Guangdong have skyrocketed. We're talking $770 a month on average, compared to just $250 to $350 in Vietnam. That's triple the cost. Energy bills are up, land's scarce, and regulations on air and water are actually enforced now. Add in compliance with global labor standards, and China's no bargain basement anymore. So why isn't everyone bolting? Economic textbooks say manufacturing is footloose. Capital chases margins, right? When costs rise, pack up and move to the next cheap spot, like Indonesia or Bangladesh. But nope. Instead, China's slice of global manufacturing hit roughly 30% in 2024 and held strong into 2025. Industries like electronics and machinery, even more locked in. Here's the gut punch. Costs predict chaos and shifts, but we got stability and growth. Factories aren't sticking around for the scenery or loyalty. Leaving means supply chains snap like dry spaghetti. Quality tanks, deadlines explode. Take a company trying to relocate. One missing screw from a far-flung supplier, and your whole line grinds to a halt. That's not a minor hiccup. It's a multi-million-dollar nightmare. Here's the real talk. It's not China playing dirty. It's fragmentation, that sneaky beast that turns global supply chains into a house of cards. Once wages weren't the star, the battle shifted to certainty. Who can deliver on time, every time? China stopped competing on price tags and started owning reliability. Look at consumer electronics. Apple and Samsung, still pouring billions into China despite the hikes. Foxconn's Zhengzhou iPhone City employs 150,000 to 200,000 workers, churning out half the world's iPhones. Relocating isn't about cheaper labor. It's replicating a machine that runs like clockwork. Most countries try and fail spectacularly because they underestimate the glue holding it all together. And that's the setup. Costs rose, but dominance grew faster. Why? Because in manufacturing, a predictable, delay-free system beats a bargain bin gamble any day. But how did they build this beast? Stick around. We're diving into the ecosystem next. Okay, so if cheap labor is off the table, what's the secret sauce keeping China untouchable? It's not magic, it's density. But let's pivot. The problem isn't just rising costs. It's how fragmented alternatives make production a total crapshoot. I'm breaking it down into 3 core pillars that make China's system a reliability powerhouse, with real examples and how it kills uncertainty for good. First pillar, proximity crushes friction. In China's clusters, everything's a stone's throw away. No oceans between suppliers. Evidence. Take the Pearl River Delta for electronics. Thousands of specialized firms for screws, circuits, molds, all within hours of each other. Unlike scattered chains in other countries, where a part from Thailand meets assembly in Vietnam via a slow boat from China. This setup slashes lead times from months to days. Execution. Imagine needing a design tweak. In China, engineers hop in a car, meet suppliers, fix it same day. Elsewhere, emails, customs delays, headaches. Result? Inventory sits idle, capital flows freer. Pearl River Delta transforms from world factory to technology hub. Second pillar, specialization breeds speed. Firms hyper-focus on niches, turning repetition into expertise. Take Yangtze River Delta for autos. One shop does casings like pros because they've done it for 10,000 buyers. Data shows clusters like these handle changes 5 times faster than fragmented setups. In Vietnam, assembly's booming, but 40% of synthetic fibers and 50% of cotton yarn still import from China, keeping them dependent. Buyers request mods. Suppliers adjust without full retools because they've seen it all. Defects? Diagnosed and zapped in shifts, not weeks. It's like a well-oiled band. Everyone knows their solo. Third pillar, ecosystems evolve organically. They're not built top-down. They grow through trial and error. China endured decades of mess-ups, but proximity amplified learning. Now, best practices spread virally. One fix helps the whole cluster. New hubs struggle because they lack this web. Factories arrive, but the invisible support doesn't. To mimic? Don't just lure plants. Foster clusters with incentives for suppliers to co-locate. But good luck. China's head start is massive. Picture this. A factory alone is like a chef without ingredients or knives. Fragmented, you're ordering takeout from different continents. China's version? Full kitchen, stocked pantry, all under one roof. Uncertainty? Obliterated. A 2-month delay can nuke a launch, but here, it's rare. That's why Vietnam attracts assembly, but stays hooked on Chinese parts. No density, no resilience. Ecosystems aren't Lego stacks. They're living organisms that reinforce over time. China didn't cheat. It grinded through the chaos until fragmentation became obsolete. Now that we've seen the ecosystem foundation, let's escalate. Scale isn't just bigger factories. It's a turbocharged brain that learns faster than rivals. The barrier here? Newcomers can't fake this overnight. I'll unpack 2 main ways scale locks in dominance, with proof from China's playbook. First, feedback loops accelerate fixes. High volume surfaces mistakes constantly, forcing instant improvements. At low scale, errors are sporadic. At China's level, 30% of global output, they're daily. But short loops mean suppliers spot, adjust, and test same day. Process tweaks spread informally, compressing years into months. A defect in Zhengzhou? Assemblers, toolers collaborate on site. Tacit knowledge piles up, those unspoken optimizations you can't blueprint. Apple contractor Foxconn ramps up hiring at China factories ahead. Second, learning compounds exclusion. Solved problems make suppliers godsends for all. Clusters internalize best practices without bosses. Observation and copying rule. New hubs? Defect rates swing wildly. Timelines slip because feedback's slow. Global buyers flock to reliability, especially where failure costs big, like tech. To compete, ramp volume patiently, but disruptions kill momentum. China's uninterrupted run built barriers high as the Great Wall. In short, scale turns manufacturing into an AI, learning, adapting, excluding. You can move machines, not the hive mind. That's why rising economies hit ceilings. Cheap, yes. Consistent, no. All right, here's the trap policymakers fall into. Who's the next China? But that's missing the point. Manufacturing power isn't a relay race. It's partial shifts around a core that's stuck. Final assembly might move to Vietnam, low-end stuff to India, but deep components, tooling, knowledge, anchored in China. Despite tariffs and friendshoring, China's ecosystem persists because dismantling needs decades of decay. 2025 data shows Vietnam's boom relies on $168 billion in Chinese imports yearly. Chinese firms even set up in Vietnam, extending the web. Global dependence hardens. Reshoring struggles with missing density. Rising stars hit invisible walls. Power lingers in systems, not headlines. Seeing manufacturing as ecosystems clears up the chaos. Why reshoring flops? Why economies stall? Why true power hides in supply chains? China built a trap that works too well. If this flipped your view on global econ, hit like, subscribe for more geopolitics breakdowns. What's your take? Can anyone dethrone China? Drop in comments.